Hello and welcome to Mack Yoga. I am Laura. For today's practice, we're really just going to move. So it's all about stopping whatever you're doing or not doing and moving and building a little bit of heat. There'll be opportunities to make the practice more challenging if that's what you're looking for, or to ease off, to skip a vinyasa, to rest. So grab whatever props you like to use, maybe blocks for balancing, maybe straps to help you in opening poses, and meet me on the mat when you're ready. Let's get moving. Let's start by lying down. Taking the arms wide. If you can, take the legs wide if that's not the most comfortable for the low back. Maybe you plant the soles of the feet to the mat and let the knees knock in. So really today our goal, our intention is to move, to bring some mobility, some warmth to the body in a short amount of time. But before we move, let's close our eyes and find some stillness. Tuning into the breath. And hitting pause on whatever you were doing before you chose to come to the mat. Even if what you were doing was not much, scrolling, looking at TikTok. Relax any tension in the body. Feel the breath wave through your entire body. And as best as you can, in whatever shape we're exploring, whatever movement is happening, try to stay this aware of the breath. And you can keep your eyes closed and stretch long, extending the arms alongside your ears, bringing the inner thighs a bit closer together, straightening the legs if they were bent. Take a big breath in to point your toes and reach the fingertips. And open your mouth, let out a sigh. Bring the knees in towards your belly one at a time. Feeling more of a connection to your low back in the mat. Eyes can still be closed as you gently rock yourself side to side. Play around with squeezing the knees in a bit closer towards your ribs or open a bit wider towards your armpits. And draw circles on the low back. Good. And then release your feet to the mat with the knees bent. Tickle the heels with your middle fingers if you can, and place the palms down on either side of your hips. Good. You can flick your eyes open now or keep them closed, up to you. We're going to start to fire up the legs a little bit. So this is especially good if you spent a long time sitting. Drive through the heels, lift your hips off the mat, bridge, and then release back down. And again, lift back up, light squeeze of the glutes, and lower back down. So keep going. We're not trying to come into our biggest back bend here. Just start to build some heat in the glutes and the backs of the legs and open up the front body from a long period of time sitting. You might link your lifting and lowering with breath. Maybe you inhale up and exhale down, or reverse, whatever works for you. Good. What might it feel like to come up onto your tiptoes and lift the heels? Maybe you need a little bit more support from your arms if you're doing that. You could bend your elbows and point your fingertips to the ceiling. Does it feel different, more intense, a little shakier? Where do you feel the legs now working? I know for me, when I lift my tiptoes or come up onto my tiptoes, I feel the calves a bit more. And then bringing the heels down, maybe you explore driving your heels to the mat, pointing your toes to the ceiling, lifting and lowering. Still using support of the arms if you need, those robot arms, or you can bring hands back to the mat. Ooh. And how does this feel different with the feet flexed and just the heels on the mat? I know for me, I feel the hamstrings quite a bit more. Nice. If you're still on toes or heels, can you bring both feet all the way down to the mat? Lift the hips up one more time, and then slowly roll down the spine, letting the tailbone touch. Maybe letting the knees drop from side to side a few times. You can just move the arms out of the way. Unfortunately, you can't move the couch out of the way. And slowly, one knee at a time, hug knees back in towards the chest. And this time, hold the backs of the legs and rock up and down the length of the spine, swinging your legs. And if that's not comfortable for your back, maybe roll over to your favorite side instead. We'll meet coming up to seated. If you're rocking and rolling, do that a couple more times, massaging the full length of the spine. And let's find a comfortable cross-legged seat facing top of the mat. Tall spine, palms to knees, grounding your hips, a few seated cat-cows, so isolating the spine, the shoulders, the belly. Shoulders down the back, lift the heart through the arms, lean forward a bit more, inhale. And exhale, chin to chest, hold onto your knees, lean back a bit more, spreading your shoulder blades. Inhale, pull the chest through your arms, arch the back. Exhale, press the chest back, draw your belly up and in. And do that a few more times. You're always welcome, of course, in cats and cows to take your body in any different directions, explore any other shapes that are calling to you, that the body intuitively wants to move into. You might need them, you might not even know why. Good. And next time you sit up tall, take a great big breath in. Open the left side out again. And make your way into tabletop. Any way you like to get there. Right in the middle of the mat, so there's mat space in front of you and behind you. Shoulders about over the wrists and hips are around over the knees, and knees are hips distance apart. We're going to do something a little different with our cat-cows here. Coming into a traditional cow, arch the back, heart through the arms, inhale. And on your cat, exhale round, draw the knee, right knee towards your chest. Right knee down, inhale cow, arch the back, lift your belly button. Exhale round, pull the left knee in towards your chest. A few more like that. Left knee down, inhale. Find that little back bend. Exhale, rounding, squeeze the right knee tight towards your nose. Right knee down, inhale, arch. Exhale, press and round, lift the left knee and squeeze even the heel towards the butt. One more each side. Left knee down, inhale, arch. Tucking right knee to chest as you round into cat, exhale. Right knee down, inhale, arch. Tuck the left knee into your chest as you round, exhale. Good. Put your left knee down, inhale, arch again. This one's going to be a bit different. Exhale, round, right knee in. And then keep the right knee lifted, but send it back behind you and reach out through your heart. So find a little bit of a dip in the spine here, like cow. You can hold kicking the right heel up towards the ceiling, or if possible, swim the left arm back behind you and see if you can catch the outer edge of that right ankle. So it's pinky toe edge of the foot. And if you've got it, kick the foot into the hand so you're lifting the back knee as much as you're lifting your chest. Big stretch for the left shoulder for 3, 2, left toes might be tucked. This will help with balance. On 1, lower your right knee down, left hand down. Tuck both of your toes under and walk your fingertips back towards your knees. So you're sitting right up on top of your heels with toes tucked if you can. If that's not comfortable for your toes or painful, it's not comfortable really for me either. But if it's painful, you can untuck and sit on the tops of your feet. And let's simply interlace the fingers, palms together, and roll out the wrists. That was a bit much on the hands there. Might feel some tension in the wrists. Let's release it. Okay, take the hands apart, make individual fists, and roll out the wrists with a little bit more room now to roll. Hearing some creaks and cracks. I don't know about you. Good, then place the hands back down into the mat, returning to tabletop. Toes can be tucked or not. One time, let's arch the back for cow. Inhale. Exhale, round, pull the left knee into your chest. Remember to keep the left leg off the mat. Send the left knee up and back behind you. Arch your back, hold and breathe. Good. Or if you can, right arm extends behind you, hand reaching for pinky toe edge of the left foot. If you've got it, kick the foot into the hand, lift your chest, lift the back knee. But that left hip is square towards the mat. Holding for 3. Maybe right toes tuck under and grip the mat. 2. Big stretch for right shoulder, and 1. Left knee down, right hand down. This time walk your knees back a little bit. Shift the chest through the arms and slowly lower, bending the elbows, keeping them tight by your sides all the way, slower than you want to your bellies. Take the fingertips a bit wider, pressing through the toenails into the mat. We'll oscillate our cobra, hopefully a familiar movement. Shoulders down the back, lift just a little bit from the upper back, the chest, the shoulders. Inhale. And exhale, release. So light on fingertips. Inhale, lift. Try to lift your kneecaps as well, but not the tops of the feet. And exhale, release. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, wave back down to the mat. Last one, inhale. Up and exhale, forward and down. Slide the hands next to your side ribs. Elbows are about over the wrists, spreading through the fingers. Tuck your toes. We'll make our way up to plank. So I'm going to press through my knees. If you can do it with your knees lifted the whole time, go for it. Lift your knees if you use them for support. Shoulders right over the wrists. Wiggle the feet back so the heels are right over the balls of the feet. Holding, firming up the legs, drawing the belly in. 3, 2. Then bend your knees a lot on 1. Hips up and back, downward facing dog with bent knees. Head is right between the biceps. Up on tiptoes maybe for the first little bit as you walk your legs out. And find more length in the backs of the legs as you sway your hips. As you give your head a nice shake, releasing tension from the neck. Good. And then settle in, sinking the heels down to the mat without compromising the hips, lifting to the ceiling or the height of the hips. Maybe heels touch, maybe they don't. Good. Shift forward, coming onto tiptoes, shoulders over wrists. Plank pose again. Inhale. And downward facing dog. Exhale. Roll forward, tiptoes press into the mat. Inhale, plank. And exhale, down dog. Let's take our first vinyasa here. Inhale, plank. I'm going to lower my knees. You can or you cannot. What's good for you. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra, spreading the collarbones. And downward facing dog. Maybe tucking toes and then lifting knees, or some of you rolling over the tops of your feet. Take a breath in through the nose here. And out your mouth. Come high onto your tiptoes, look forward, and step or hop your feet around your hands for Malasana. Toes angled out at 45. Sink your hips as low as you're comfortable. Hands to heart center, lifting the heart up towards your thumbs. Good. Now, if you're very flexible, you can easily hang out here like I can. We're mostly sitting in our joints. Let's see if we can feel a little bit more work in the muscles. So can you lift up like just an inch away from the floor? Pressing more towards the pinky toe edges of the feet. And it's okay if you're up here as well. Good. For 3, 2, and 1. Forward fold. Lift your hips. Crown of the head drops. Turn your feet to face forward and bring the feet to hip width. Soft bend in the knees. Hold on to opposite elbows and just let yourself sway a bit. Good. This would be one of my must-do poses if I have been sitting for a long time. Just get up and do a forward fold and really stretch the muscles of the back. Let the shoulders feel weightless, the head go with gravity. Nice. And release the fingertips down. Let's take a count of 5 to roll up to standing, pressing through the feet. Let the head stay heavy until the last moment. So head comes up last. Engage your glutes a little bit here, lightly squeezing. Roll the shoulders and then lift the head. Turn the palms to face forward. Walk forward a little bit more if you're too far back like me. Take the arms wide and above you. Inhale. Open the arms wide. Dive down over your legs, softening the knees. Exhale. Come up halfway, hands to shins, soft knees too. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Uttanasana, exhale, forward fold, fingertips down, step your right foot back. Keep the right heel popped up, rise up, crescent lunge. Good, a little bend to that back knee. Shoulders over hips, sending your left hip back, your right hip forward. Can you look up and press your palms? Inhale. Lower your right knee all the way down to the mat as you exhale. Maybe you're still looking up. Maybe you're looking somewhere else. Good. Left knee over left ankle. We're in low lunge now. Take the arms straight out in front of your chest. Then take the arms wide to either side of the chest. Lift the heart to the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, round. Right arm in front of left. Give yourself a hug. Inhale. Open the heart. Maybe sink the hips down a little bit more. Exhale, chin to chest, round. Try to move back away from that front thigh. Hug yourself. Right arm in front of left again. 2 more like that. Inhale. So it's always right arm in front of left. Exhale, give yourself a hug. Press into the front foot. 1 more time. Inhale, open wide. Sink the hips. Exhale, give yourself a hug. Open the arms wide again, but stay really lifted. So don't lunge the hips too deep. Inhale. Exhale, drop the hands to either side of the front foot or fingertips to the either side of the front foot. Lift the back knee and press your hips back any amount for a variation of pyramid. Maybe you're working with blocks here underneath your hands or bending the left knee a bit more. Take a breath in and out. Good. Bend your left knee again, so knee is over ankle. Stay light on those right fingertips. Extend your left arm all the way up towards the ceiling for a twist. If you need more support, you can bring your right knee back down to the mat. If you want more of a challenge, squeezing the inner thighs, see if you can hover that right hand just an inch or so above the mat. Whew, so we're really in the legs here. 3, 2, and 1. Both hands frame the front foot. Take the left leg, the front leg, up and back for a 3-legged down dog. Inhaling. Then bending your left knee. Kick the heel towards your butt as you exhale, opening up the hip. Squaring off through the shoulders, holding or circling out that left hip a few times. Drawing circles with the knee, but the movement is really coming from the hip joint. Maybe going a couple times in reverse. And set your left foot down in line with your right, downward facing dog. Hold, walk it out, take rest or vinyasa. Inhale, forward plank. Exhale, maybe knees touch, maybe they don't. Chaturanga. Inhale, taking that heart opener, up dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Come up high onto your tiptoes. Bend your knees, bringing belly closer to your thighs. Step or hop your toes right behind your wrists. And then drop your head. Roll up the spine. Good. Not a full count of 5 this time. Just rolling on up. Take the arms wide as you arrive to standing. Inhale. Exhale, arms wide as you dive back down over the legs. Inhale, lengthen up halfway. Exhale, fold fingertips down. Left foot steps back this time, staying on the ball of the foot. As you're ready, stand in the legs, rise up, crescent lunge. And this time, right hip pulls back, left hip pulls forward. Little bend to the back knee. Can you look up and press your palms together? If that's really throwing off your balance, simply look forward at a spot right in front of you. Inhale. Lower the back knee slowly all the way down to the mat. Exhale. Good. Low lunge. Take the arms straight out in front of the chest. Open the arms wide. Let the shoulders move down the back. Inhale. This time hugging yourself, left arm in front of right. Exhale, chin to chest. Couple more. Inhale, open wide. Lunging the hips a bit deeper. Exhale, hug yourself. Inhale, open the chest. Left arm over right. Exhale, hug, pressing into the front foot. And last one. Inhale, lunging a bit deeper. And exhale, hugging yourself. This time, stay lifted. Just open the arms as you inhale. And exhale, dive hands on either side of the front foot. And belly can be resting on the right thigh as you lift the back knee off the mat. Maybe you keep that connection as you press your hips back of belly on top of right thigh. You can also hop your back foot in or prop your hands up on blocks. And just take a couple deep breaths. A variation of pyramid pose, getting into the back of the right leg. Nice. Bend into your right knee again. So knee is over ankle, left fingertips light to the mat. Take the right arm all the way up to stack on top of the left. Good. Back knee can come back down for more support if the legs are tired. You could also really work the legs if that's what you're feeling like. Can I have your help, Leo? By hovering your left hand just above the mat. Woo. Squeeze inner thighs, left thigh points up to the ceiling or presses to the ceiling for 3, 2, and 1. Look down, hands come down. Take your right leg up and back, 3-legged down dog. Inhale. Exhale, bend your right knee, drop the heel towards your butt and open the hip. So right knee points to the ceiling. Drop your right shoulder down towards the mat, square it off. Hold or draw circles from that right hip joint, but really thinking about pointing the knee in all directions. Good. And a few times opposite direction. And right foot down next to the left foot, downward facing dog. Hold, rest, maybe pause the video or keep building heat. Vinyasa, forward plank or modified plank. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Breathe in the nose. Open the mouth to let it go. Come up high into your tiptoes, lifting your heels, bend your knees, walk or hop your toes behind your wrists. Roll up the spine, let your arms dangle. Good. Coming all the way up to standing, shoulders back. Take the arms up above you as you inhale. This time, hands to heart center. Exhale, stand on the left foot, right knee to chest. Nice. Inhale here. Exhale, warrior 3. And it's going to take more than one breath to get into warrior 3. So continue breathing as you stretch the right leg back and hinge your chest forward so we're parallel to the mat. You can even bring hands to hips here to really feel where the hips are. Are they level? I like in a warrior 3 a flexed foot so that back of the right leg is long. So point your right big toe down to the mat. Good, then so slowly, so much control, bend your left knee. Your hands might be on blocks here as well if you're just building up to balance. Land the ball of the right foot to the mat. Bend your right knee, rise up, high lunge, arms right overhead, look between your palms pressing. Inhale. Exhale, slow lower of the back knee down to the mat. Look wherever you like for that transition. Take the arms in front of the chest in your low lunge, one time hugging. Inhale, dropping your hips, arms wide. Right arm over left. Exhale. Hug your shoulders. Good. Open wide. Inhale. Exhale. Dive hands to either side of the front foot and press your hips back halfway for Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Right hip over right knee. Wiggling left heel forward if you've got a bit more space. Maybe hands elevated on blocks. Deep flex in that left ankle. So toes back towards the chest. So we're long in the back of the left leg. Take 2 breaths. Good. Bend into your left knee again. Left knee over left ankle. Keep the back knee down this time. Rise the arms, the chest up, the belly up. Inhale, press your palms. Exhale, hands through heart center. Turn to your left as much as you can with the upper back. And then lower your right elbow to the outside of the left knee. So a closed twist this time. Lift your left elbow to point towards the ceiling. Good. Hold. Lift your heart towards your thumbs. Maybe tucking back toes, you work the legs again by pressing that right thigh up towards the ceiling, right knee off the mat. Good. For 3, squeeze inner thighs, stabilize the pelvis. 2, and 1, look down, palms plant. Sweep your left leg up and back. Maybe it stays straight that whole time. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Option here to hold, to take those circles again, or some of you maybe flip dog, coming high up onto the ball of the right foot, right shoulder over right wrist. So carefully roll to pinky towards the right foot, left foot drops behind you, and then left arm sweeps along the left ear. Take a full breath in and out. Then look down, flip dogs. You might come back to down dog to rest. You might come right into plank. Good. And option for everyone, take a vinyasa or don't. Flowing through it with breath. Good. From downward facing dog, lifting heels, bending knees, looking forward, lightly stepping or quietly hopping up towards your hands. Drop the head, roll up the spine. Shoulders back. Float the arms up on your inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Draw the left knee up into your chest as you stand on the right foot. Good. Inhale here. Exhale, warrior 3. Start to hinge the chest forward. Keep breathing as you kick that left foot back. Good. Again, test out or see where your hips are by hands to hips. Maybe squaring the left hip down a little bit more. Flexing the left foot, can you kick out through the heel? And then maybe bring hands back to heart center. You might also have your hands on 2 tall blocks. Nice. With so much control, bending your right knee, weight to your right heel, left foot reaches back, back, back. Land on the ball of the left foot, then bend your left knee, rise up, crescent lunge. Arms straight like an arrow up towards the ceiling, maybe looking between the palms. Inhale. Exhale, lower back knee down to the mat. Looking up or down as you transition. Scoot the right foot forward so knees over ankle. Take the arms straight out in front of the chest. One time, open the arms, lunge the hips low. Inhale. Give yourself a hug. Exhale, left arm over right. Reach for opposite shoulder. Stay lifted. Open the arms again as you inhale. Exhale, hands to either side of the front foot. Maybe keep belly to thigh connection as you rock your hips back. Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Flexing the right foot, back of the right leg is long, mini bend to the knee. Good, you can be folding, you can be propped up. Just breathe. Good. Bend that front knee again, planting your front foot, your right foot. Rise back up, belly off of the right thigh. Press your palms above you. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, hands through heart center. Turn to your right. Twist, 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 twist as much as you can. Then lower left elbow outside of the right leg. Then lift your sternum up towards your thumbs. Maybe tucking the back toes under. You float the back knee off the mat, pressing out through your left heel. Inner thighs hug towards one another for 3, 2, and 1. Look down, land your hands to the mat. Sweep your right leg up and back. Inhale. Exhale, bend your right knee, open the hip. Option to stay here, to circle out, or come up high into the ball of the left foot. Bring your left shoulder over your left wrist, then roll to pinky toe edge of the left foot. So much control transitioning to flip dog or wild thing. Right arm along right ear. Lifting hips. Sending the left shoulder blade down the back. Inhale. Look down, exhale to down dog or to plank. Option to take a vinyasa. Option to opt out and rest. Good. From down dog, lift heels, bend knees, look forward, walk, step, float up towards your hands. And this time, bring your feet all the way together, big toes aligned, maybe a bit of space between your heels. Bend your knees, keep your fingertips sweeping the mat, then lift the chest up as you inhale. Chair pose, exhale, hold. If the shoulders are feeling a bit fatigued at this point, you can also bring hands to heart center. I'm going to go ahead and take that variation. Good. So we don't need to lift our toes, but we want to have the sensation of a little bit of lightness in the toes so that we know we're really sinking the weight back towards our heels. And then to support the lumbar spine here, draw your belly up and in. Good. For 3, 2, knee squeeze, and 1, drop over the legs, lift your hips. Good. Coming up halfway, hands to shins. Inhale. Exhale, melting over the legs, fingertips down. Step your right foot back and spin that right heel down to 45 degrees for warrior 2. Let the right arm pull you up. Left arm extends forward. Good. So get comfortable in your warrior 2. I might have said 3, but it's warrior 2. Left knee tracking over that left middle toe. No hands to the mat for a little bit. Straighten the front leg. Reach the arms straight up, palms facing one another. Inhale. Turn your toes out, your heels in. Goddess pose. Exhale. Track your knees out in line with the toes. Then straighten the legs. Inhale. Warrior two to the back of the mat as you exhale. Right toes face back, left toes turn in, bend your right knee. Hold. So we'll pick up the pace just a little bit. We just want to get familiar with turning to the front and to the back of the mat. Right knee tracks over right middle toe. Then let's straighten the right leg. Reach the arms up. Inhale. Toes out, heels in. Exhale, goddess. Sink the hips directly down to the mat. Straighten the legs. Inhale. You can already start to spin the feet to face forward. Exhale, warrior two to the top of the mat. Straighten your left leg, arms reach up. Inhale, turn your toes out and your heels in. Exhale, bend your knees, sink down. Inhale, straighten, starting to prepare for warrior two, back of the mat. Exhale, bend your right knee. Let's add on. Straighten the right leg. Inhale, arms up, toes out, heels in. Exhale, sink the hips, goddess. Inhale, straighten. Prepare for warrior two, front of the mat. Exhale, open up warrior two with the left knee deeply bending. Hold. Flip the front palm, reverse your warrior. Let the right hand trickle down the back leg. Inhale. And exhale, back up warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, toes out, heels in. Goddess. Inhale, straighten. Prepare for warrior two, back of the mat. Exhale, bend your right knee. Take the arms wide. Hold. Flip your right palm. Reverse. Stretch long the right side. Inhale. And exhale, back up warrior two. Straighten the right leg. Inhale, arms up. Turn toes out, heels in. Exhale, track the knees outward. Sink down, goddess. Inhale, straighten. Start to spin your feet to face forward. Exhale, warrior two. Reverse warrior. Inhale, left arm reaches over. This time, exhale, reach forward of the left foot with the left hand. Drag the back leg up, half moon. Drag, 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 drag. Hello, Leo. Maybe left hand on a block. Try to stack just like we did in a twist. One shoulder on top of the other. Open the hips. Right foot can be pointed or flexed. Again, I prefer a flex foot, but it's up to you. And then just like our twist, maybe you get really light on the bottom hand and float it just an inch above the floor. 3, 2, and 1. With control, bend your left knee. Let's land back. Warrior two. Woo! Are you sweating yet? Inhale, straighten the front leg. Reach the arms up. Goddess pose. Exhale, toes out, heels in. Inhale, straighten both legs. Start to turn your right toes to the back of the mat. Exhale, warrior two. Bend into your right knee. Reverse warrior. Flip the front palm. Inhale, reach long through the right arm. Exhale, reach the right hand forward of the right foot. Drag the back leg up. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. I don't have enough mat space here. So flexing your left foot. Stacking left shoulder on top of right. Good. Maybe getting super light on the bottom fingertips. Maybe even floating it just an inch above the floor. Good. Ground in your right big toe. 3, 2, 1. Bend your right knee. Land so softly, warrior two. Woo! Straighten the front leg. Inhale the arms up, toes out, heels in. Goddess pose, exhale. This time, inhale, straighten the legs, hands to hips. Turn your big toes inward. Exhale, hinge forward. Straddling down. Make sure those big toes are in line. Release your fingertips down. So toes are turned in slightly. Come up halfway. Put more of a bend in your knees. Take the right fingertips right underneath your chest. You might also have the right hand on a block. Take the left hand to the low back, so the left fingertips are facing behind you. Good. And then pressing from the right fingertips, turn your chest up to the ceiling, rolling the left shoulder back. So a twist. Can you reach more forward through the top of your head? So we're twisting from this place of length in the spine. Good. Draw your belly button up and in. Maybe extend the left arm up towards the ceiling. Inhale. Left hand lands. Exhale. Take left fingertips directly underneath your chest. Keep that soft or deep bend in your knees. This time, right hand to the low back. Right fingertips are facing behind you. From the very bottom hand, roll your right shoulder back. So this big twist happening from the belly, from across the chest. Turn your chest to the ceiling and roll right shoulder back. And that right hand on the low back can really help you to see if you're tilting to one side or the other. We want it to be even. Nice. And then maybe Taking the right arm straight up. Good. Inhale. Exhale, right hand down. Crawl yourself to the back of the mat, turning your feet. Good. So left heel is lifted. We're to the inside of the right foot. We want our toes to both be facing the back of the mat, or our feet to face the back of the mat. Lower your back knee down. Take your right hand on top of your right thigh, and then press into your hand to roll your right shoulder back. So similar kind of twist, but now from a lunge. And you can let your right hip drop towards your right heel. Left hand might be on a block, just depending how open the hips are feeling now. Good. Lizard lunge with a twist. Maybe picking up the back foot as you bend the back knee and you catch the pinky toe edge of the foot. So similar stretch for the front of the shoulders, what we did in tabletop. You can kick the foot into the hand. Ooh, a little bit for the quad, or a lot for the quad, depending on how tight you are. Good, breathe. Try to press the mat away, or the block, if your hand's on a block, block away with the left hand. Good, if you had the back foot, let go of it gently and bring both hands to the inside of the right foot. Lift the back knee off the mat. Let's crawl along to the long side of the mat again. Turning the toes inwards. Make sure the heels are even, the toes are parallel. Good, and this time lift up through the chest. Inhale. Exhale, fold. So wide-legged forward fold. Relax the back of your neck. And really yogi's choice here. I'm going to give you some options. You might take the hands behind the back, interlacing the fingers, pressing the palms, and squeezing the shoulder blades towards one another for a bind. You might simply take opposite elbows here. Let yourself sway. Of course, if you need to shorten the stance, you can toe heel your feet in a bit closer. If you wanted to focus on hamstrings, groins, inner thigh, maybe you hook your big toes with your peace fingers and your thumbs, making sure to tuck the thumbs under, and let yourself fold down, bending the elbows, reaching long through your side body. But either way, let's make sure we're not locking the knees. We're lifting the kneecaps and quads and gently bending the knees. Good. Take another breath. Good. Walk the fingertips underneath your chest. Lift up long through the spine. Inhale. And then exhale. Crawl yourself to the top of the mat, turning your feet. Lower the back knee down. So this time, right knee touches down to the mat, left knee over left ankle. Right fingertips can stay down, palm can be flat, or hand can be on a block. Left hand to left thigh. Good, and then roll your left shoulder back. So I'm kind of digging the heel of the hand forward. Try not to be pressing around the knee. Let's be on the quad of the left leg. And then let your left hip melt towards the left heel. You can even untuck your right toes, press through the top of the foot. Nice. Maybe swimming the left arm back. You bend your right knee and catch the pinky toe edge of the foot for that extra shoulder stretch. Extra opening for your right quad. Good. Try not to let the belly hang out. Draw your navel up and in so that we're supporting the low back. And press the mat away with the right hand. Good. Releasing the back foot carefully if you had it. Hands come down shoulder distance apart. Lift your back knee. Let's step back, down dog. And it might feel nice to walk the legs out a little bit here. You have the opportunity for one final vinyasa, waving forward, coming onto tiptoes. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And downward facing dog, exhale. Lift up onto tiptoes, bend your knees. And this time, step or hop all the way through your arms. And sit down. Good. Extend the legs out in front of you. Shake it out. If your props are all around the mat, bring them close to you. You might want blocks for this next little bit. You might also want a strap. Keeping the left leg extending forward, bend your right knee, bringing the heel in as close to the hip as you can. So we're closing off the knee joint, calf squeezes to back of the thigh. Then let your right knee open to the right long side of the mat. Take the hands just behind you and turn yourself to face the right long side of the mat, but the left heel is still at the top of the mat. Bring right sole of the foot to left inner thigh. So we're taking Parivrtta Janu Sirsasana, which is a Janu Sirsasana extended or side bending. Left fingertips to inside of left leg, active through the foot, so this leg hasn't gone to sleep. Heel pressing down, toes pointing up. Take the right arm straight up to the ceiling along the right ear. And our chest right now is angled over the right knee. Inhale. Exhale, curve up and over, like the top arm is reaching towards the top toes, but not as a goal, more so as a direction for us to feel that side bend. Now, you can keep the right arm reaching. You could also bend your right elbow and let the right hand come behind your head for more support, but really try to point the right elbow to the ceiling so we know that we're not squaring off the chest and missing out on that beautiful length in the right side. You can also bend your left knee. This is not about how straight the left leg is. We're focusing on the right side bend. You might even close your eyes as you take your next couple breaths. And let yourself melt in. And slowly press the mat away to come back up. Take the hands just behind your back. Let's take the right leg out wide too. Now our heels are pointing to the corners of the mat and we're facing the long side of the mat for a wide-legged seat. Now, wide-legged is kind of up to you how wide you go. It just depends how the inner thighs are feeling. They might be a little bit closer together. You might also have your knees bent a bit more. We're just stretching out inner thighs here. Lift up through the chest. And maybe this is quite a bit to stay seated with the legs wide. If you want it to fold forward a little bit, just watch that those feet don't start turning in. This is not the greatest for our knees. Keep your knees pointing to the ceiling. Maybe lean forward a bit. We're not going to go too deep on this first round. You might find a little bit of a pulse. For 3, 2, and 1. Sit back up. This time, bend your left knee. Bring the heel in nice and close to your hip, closing off knee joint. Calf squeezes to back of thigh. Then let your left knee drop open. And use your hand to bring the left sole of the foot to the right inner thigh. Press that outer left knee down to the mat. Right foot is active. Right fingertips to the inside of that extended leg. Maybe even hand to a block. And lift your left arm up. And just turn your chest towards the left knee for a moment. Because in this one, when we think about reaching over, a lot of the time we close off. So angle yourself open already. Inhale and exhale. Lean to the right while you press your left knee and left hip down. Maybe even bringing the right forearm flat, or that other variation where we support the head, left palm behind your head, left elbow points to the ceiling. As you breathe here, see if there's anywhere that you can relax a little bit more. In the shoulders, your face, your thoughts. Just melt in. Good. Slowly rise back up to seated. Take the hands just behind you again and extend the legs wide. So one more time, wide-legged seat. Active through kneecaps and quads. Those knees can be as bent as you need them to be, or you can be in as closed off of a V as you need to be. And then lift through the chest. Holds. Long spine, or leaning forward again. Taking extra care to press down through those heels to mini bend the knees as you lean forward and to lead the way with the heart rather than the head. Maybe taking the forearms forward. And let's take our last 2 breaths. Good. If you're in a deep fold, walk your hands back in. Hands behind the knee joints, bend the knees just a little bit, then hands behind the back and swing the right leg forward and shimmy so that you're facing top of the mat. Plant your feet flat. Use your hands to scoot your hips forward. We're coming down to our backs again. And you can roll on down if you want a little bit of core work here, tucking your tailbone under, creating that C curve in the back, or you can flop down if you're so ready to be down on your backs. Walk the feet in a bit closer. Let's finish off with a bit more external hip opening, picking up the right foot. Right ankle over left thigh, figure four. Move the right knee away from you, maybe even with the right hand. So a nice compliment for that strong standing work we did in our warrior twos and our goddess poses. If that really brought tightness to your outer right hip, you might already be feeling this a lot, and you can stay. Or you can thread the needle if you need a bit more sensation. Weaving your arms through, interlacing your fingers, holding the back of the left leg. So left hamstring. Some of you, hips really open, you might interlace fingers on top of the left shin. And see if you can bring the right shin bone in a little bit closer to your chest if you're looking for a bit more sensation. And play with the right ankle really active. Let the shoulder blades melt down to the mat. Another option is lifting the left leg towards the ceiling and just playing around with moving the left ankle in different directions, pointing and flexing the foot. Especially good if you've been sitting cross-legged for a while and your ankle's only been in one direction. So just loosen it up. As you're ready, land your left foot back down to the mat, right foot to the mat, and switch sides. Left ankle over right thigh. Move that left knee towards the top of the mat, using the left hand, and hold if this is enough. If you need more sensation, right foot floats away from the mat. Weave one arm through, so your left arm through, and then interlace the fingers behind your right leg. And see if you can bring your left shin in a little bit closer if that's okay for your left knee. And then notice if there's anywhere that you can work a little bit less, areas that don't really need to be working right now, like the shoulders. Maybe if you did it on the first side, you extend the right leg up towards the ceiling. Taking that extra hamstring stretch, playing around with taking your foot different directions, rolling out the ankle, pointing, flexing the foot, spreading your toes wide. And just try to take your last couple breaths super relaxed. Good. And let your right foot come back down to the mat if you lifted it up. Left foot back down to the mat. Bring the knees to either side of your chest. And reach the arms between the legs. Happy baby or a variation of Baddha Konasana. So happy baby, you can lift the feet and catch pinky toe edges of the feet and really press your tailbone down to the mat. If you wanted to focus on a little bit more of a passive opening, you can hold your ankles and you can curl up to do this and then let your knees drop open wide. So it's similar to a Malasana and a Baddha Konasana. Feet are just a natural distance apart. I'm not trying to press my feet together. I'm letting them drop open and the arms are straight. So explore which one feels the best at the end of this practice, either actively pulling knees to armpits in happy baby or straightening the arms and letting the legs get heavy in your hands. Nice. In either variation, let's close the knees into the chest. Curling up, wrap your arms around your shins, lift the nose towards your knees. Giving yourself a final loving, appreciative hug, thanking yourself for taking the time out of your day to move your body. And then releasing down for rest. Back of the head touches down. Arms open wide on either side of you, palms open to the ceiling. Legs, whatever shape feels the most restful for you. If you want a little bit more for hips, maybe the feet are pressing and the legs are in diamond shape, Supta Baddha Konasana. Of course, you can always finish the same way we started, extending the legs long towards either side of the mat. And finishing the same way we started is a nice way to check in on how you might feel different at the end of your practice. How does the body feel now? How are you breathing? What's the quality of your breath like? And how does your mind feel? Are the thoughts maybe a little less anxious, less busy? I hope so. Let yourself sink into the firm ground beneath you. I invite you to practice Shavasana. It's a pose. It takes practice just like anything else, maybe more than you think. Practice it for as long as it benefits you. So if you know that you have a really hard time being still, it might benefit you to set up your favorite song, cue it up, and then play it. Maybe it's a 5-minute song, maybe it's just 2 minutes. Practice rest, stillness, doing less. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide. And I hope we can practice again soon. Peace.